The Twilight Bastion update came with many quality of life changes, some of which are so big and impactful that I just have to talk about them. There is a lot to cover, so I'll try and get through everything quickly, but just know that this is my personal favorite update we have had in a long, long time. So many changes that we have been asking for have finally come, and I'm so happy to have them finally be here. A large amount of these quality of life changes have been geared towards fishing, and these are all my favorite changes, so I'll be talking about these first. Perhaps the biggest and most impactful change is to augments. You can now shift-click to bulk equip 5 in a single slot. Doing so increases their durability by 5 times, and their repair cost is multiplied by 5 as well when they break, of course. There is also a new setting to right-click to unequip augments when they're on full durability. If they have damaged even by 1% though, you will have to discard them and you will not get it back. This is a big deal, as a lot of the time you could misclick an augment, say an ultra law, and then you'd have to either discard this or sit through using it, which could be very inconvenient. But now you can simply just right click to unequip it and you don't have to worry about it. You get it right back and then it's all well and good. The bulk equipping is mainly impactful for doing treasure and spirit ultra laws, as these augments, the hooks and the magnets used to break in just 5 catches. Now you can equip 5 at once, meaning they have 25 durability, meaning you have to babysit and micromanage them a lot less. However, there is a small problem with this. As you can see here, treasure ultra laws have 20 durability and the new bulk stacked augments have 25, meaning they do not line up nicely. You should always be repairing these so they more actually have a durability of 40. So if you want to have a lossless use case of augments, you would have to use 5 treasure ultra laws with 8 sets of bulk stacked greedy augments. This table here should hopefully show that nicely, and it shows pearl and spirit ultra laws as well. Those ones line up much better, but the treasure ultra law does suffer a little bit. But you could always just break an augment with a little bit of durability left on it. It's not that big of a deal, but I know some people care about getting maximum efficiency. Another amazing change to augments is that you can now use stock replenishers from the infinite bag. Just by going to your infinite bag and clicking on it, you'll see this message in the chat, and then you can cast into any spot and it will be replenished. You can still choose to equip them if you would like, and you can then repair them and use them twice, but I think this is basically never going to get used again, as usually you have a full set of augments, and you have to break one just to use the replenisher, and then break the replenisher to put the augment back. So this is very, very nice for quality of life. Present in all the island spawns, the Angler Tech NPC has received some massive changes as well. Now instead of buying augments randomly, you can pick exactly which one you want. This is slightly more expensive, as previously it used to cost 15 spirits, now it costs 2 refined, which is the equivalent of 20 spirits, but given that there's no RNG factor, this is a very good change. This change does make the old augment trader found Island 8 useless, but don't worry, as he has been changed as well. It has the exact same menu, but instead of bulk buying in sets of 50, you can shift click to buy 50 augments at once, which is very nice if you're very lazy and want to do less clicks. However, this guy is pretty far away from the island spawn, so if you're only buying very few augments, it probably is faster to wait there and just buy them in sets of 5, but if you need to buy a large amount, buying them here will save you a lot of time. This update isn't just quality of life, as it actually contains a major buff to late game fish hunting. Coming over to the settings and scrolling to the very bottom of the general tab, you can find 2 new toggles, the most impactful of which is the fish only catches toggle. This will convert all pearl, treasure and spirit catches into fish catches, which is an absolutely huge change for the game, as previously there was no way to increase your fish chances. This change is also very nice because it makes these 3 perks not useless. Pearl, treasure and spirit chance perks were seen as useless and even detrimental by a lot of players, including myself. The reason for this is that it would take away from your trash chance, which is actually bad. Late game fish hunting, you would rather catch trash that doesn't consume bait or stock, but these random pearls and treasures would, which maybe is bad if you're using things like mythic bait. But now you can upgrade these perks without fear, as you can turn this toggle on and it will actually increase your fish chances, making that late game fish hunting much easier, which I'm sure next week's Fishing Friday will appreciate. The other setting is a very simple one, but a very appreciated one, the cancel auto rod on consumable spend. If you're using auto rod with MCC Plus or the auto rod augment, it will simply cancel whenever your augments break, which is very nice if you're trying to keep things lined up nicely. The final changes to fishing are impacting frogs. Coming over to the Island 4's Sanctuary Keeper, there is a new frog, the legendary Frog Friend Wizard. You can buy it for 200 frog slime, 50 pristine pearls, 25 cluster spirits, and 1 of each pure spirit. Additionally, the price of the ghost frog has been changed. The frog slime requirement has now been increased from 500 to 800, but the 5000 temperate and barren core requirement has been removed. Additionally, these frogs have been moved in collection. They used to be in the basic vendor collection, but now they've all been moved into the fishing collection, meaning you might have lost a set bonus, 100 trophies, which I have lost in the fishing collection as the new legendary frog. You would have to buy this to finish that collection, but it will make getting the basic vendor collection set bonus fully done much easier. And now I need to spend a bunch of time freeing frogs so I get 100 frog slime to buy this new frog. Okay, there we go. That's 200 frog slime, and now I can afford the new frog friend. I do think this new frog looks pretty cool. I won't use this cosmetic personally, as I don't use many cosmetics, frankly, but he does look pretty cool. He's got a hat. Well, he's a hat, and he's got a hat. And doing that will award you 70 trophies, and it will finish off the fishing set bonus if you lost that this update, giving you another 100 trophies. But this new frog isn't the only changes to frogs. They have actually received massive improvements in this update. If you come to the Baron Collector or the Tempera Collector, you can see that you can now buy frogs with 30 Baron or Tempera cores, which is a very nice change. This means that you can now grind frogs in any climate without being forced to spend all your treasure ultra in Greedy Tide on the tropical islands. It will still be more efficient to hunt your treasure there if you want frogs specifically, as only the tropical treasures contain frogs, but you can still get these with tokens from other climates. You don't have to feel too guilty about fishing in other climates. Okay, so that's it for changes in fishing specifically, but one thing you might have noticed earlier, if you come to the InfiniBag, items now stack to 99 instead of 64. Additionally, you can now right-click to skip through 5 pages at a time, and you can shift-click to go to the final page. This change isn't just in the InfiniBag, it's in a lot of different menus, but this is a very, very nice one, and the stack sizes of 99 just mean things take up less slots. But if that isn't enough for you, coming into the settings and scrolling down, there is another new change, the compact InfiniBag. With this setting on and opening the InfiniBag, this changes everything that is above 100 into a stack size of 1, and you can hover over it to see the exact amounts. This is very nice for things like common materials, as they now only take up 1 slot instead of the hundreds they did before. This also does slightly impact fishing, as you can now bulk open treasure in much higher sets than just 64. As you can see here, I have 712 common treasures in this one stack, which I can just shift click and open all at once, which is a very, very nice change. Some other small menu changes include the scavenging menu now has a filter, so you can change which rarity you want to see. This will just help make scavenging things much easier. And this is another good change for fishing. If you combine it with the InfiniBag changes, you can now bulk scavenge augments, which is good for things like crab bots. You can scavenge infinite at a time, like I can do now, and just get 6,000 at once, which is a very nice change. And this filter is present on the InfiniVault menu if you care about that. Questing has also received a major improvement. You can now see that there's a 4th bar at the top, and this takes progress from all 3 tasks and combines it into one. This is a very nice change if you either are playing a game and, for example, you get the quest to like 50%, but then that game stops queuing, you can then take that progress into a different game like BattleBox, which will be queuing more consistently. This is also good if you want to use the multi-queue system, as you can select the 3 games on your quest and play them and get a faster queue, play any of the 3 games and get the exact same quest progression. This change was something that I personally suggested on the forums, and it took them a little while, but it came to the game. So just as a reminder, if you have any ideas, leave them on the forums as feedback. They do read everything, and as you can see here, if they like the idea enough, they can be added to the game. The weekly vault has also seen some changes, with XP requirements being lowered across the board. Levels 1 through 50 lost about 40,000 XP, and then levels 51 through 60 are unchanged, but overall, maxing in InfiniVault now takes 300,000 XP instead of 340,000 XP. Not only this, the rewards have been made slightly better across the board as well, as you can see here. And finally, sneaking its way into this update are changes to weapon skins. Bronze, silver, and golden treasure cores have been replaced by weapon wisps. Now scavenging any weapon or chroma or effect will give you weapon wisps, which are basically like style souls but for weapon skins. This is a very nice change, as now instead of having to deal with 3 different currencies, you only have to deal with the one. These weapon wisps can then be spent on the weapon crate shop, which has had its prices reduced, and there is also a rotating stock of these items here. Buying specific chromas or elimination effects will be slightly more expensive than buying the crate, but on average it's much better, as you don't have to deal with any RNG. For example, if you wanted to buy this Crow's Spirit Chroma, it would cost you 6 weapon wisps, or you could get lucky and get it from the chroma crate, but each one's only at a 4% chance, so realistically you should just be buying it from here. These changes should hopefully improve the economy of weapon skins quite a lot, as using the core system previously was very confusing and not very intuitive. Now condensing it into one item should make it much easier. Oh, and I guess while we're here, we should mention that the current rotation has been increased by 1 week. This was meant to end in a couple days, but they put an extra week on it. I guess they were delayed on getting the next set of cosmetics out, so just know that this is a little bit longer than scheduled. Okay, but that about covers everything for this update. There was a lot of quality of life. Honestly, I probably even missed some. There was so much, but I cannot understate how much I like this update. The Twilight Bastion event is very cool, but that's only short term. This is a long-term change which will impact the game basically forever. These are all very, very good changes, so I'm very happy to see changes like this. Obviously, they can't only do quality of life, they do need to add content as well, but when we get the quality of life, I am very happy to see it. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, goodbye and subscribe.